Mortal Kombat 11 for PC just got some updates. And with the updates, we usually get our data miners diving in and they pull out a lot of information. Did you see what all came out today?
I'm still screaming. I'm kind of just holding the screaming on pause for this episode right now.
Oh, which character are you screaming about? Wait, should we just...
Do you even have to ask? Yeah, that's... Guys, obviously, right. This episode is going to be heavy spoilers, okay? Yeah, possibly even in terms of story.
Yes, yeah.
So heads up from now. We'll also make it clear, I guess, when we go into the story spoilers. But for now, we're going to be talking about the possible Kombat Pack datamine.
The newest update for PC had some files in it that data miners such as the Tiny managed to pull. And there were a few interesting abbreviations in there. The first one that I think we should talk about is that a lot of this new DLC that's being referenced is in a GOTY 2 directory, Game of the Year 2. So it seems like Mortal Kombat 11 is going to get a Game of the Year edition, and this DLC is stuff that you can download from that Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, I'd say that's all accurate. I mean, it's kind of what we spoke about in the past about how it's probably going to get a Game of the Year edition after either another story edition or Kombat Pack edition. And at the moment, it's looking like both.
Yeah, so should we just talk about the characters?
Yeah, let's go characters first.
We've been talking about it in our last Tarkatan Bitesize episode. I think we should talk about Rain.
It's Rain, people!
It's Rain.
Oh man, can you hear my excitement? Honestly, I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, you're a bit too excited.
No, I'm holding so much back. Like, you might even have to tone down my volume for this episode.
It looks like we're getting Rain. Just like I said, this is just based off of the data mining. There are some files within the data mines that say Rain, or
they're
say
audio
RA.
files. They say RAN. The Tiny has specifically said that it's Rain. However, obviously, all we can do is speculate as to RAN. And to be honest, who really could it be, you know?
That's your first character.
Woo!
So yeah, they say CHARRAN on most of them.
Yes.
But he did find some files within there that are actually labeled Rain. So they are there.
Oh my god, yes! So, just so you know, everybody, there are a couple of posts by the Tiny, and one of them, he says Rain audio files in Sindel's file. And very fittingly, he has two heart eye emojis there, because that's how I look right now. But I don't know which one you're talking about, Fantim. Could you send? I think you have just sent that to me.
So yeah, there's Rain.
It says Rain, people! I can confirm! Oh my god, I cannot believe this.
So for anybody who wants to have a look at the data mine, you can follow the Tiny on Twitter. That's THETHINY, where he's been posting some of the most recent stuff that he's found.
The other character, you would not have guessed. It's a character that not many people have actually been asking for. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah. Oh,
Can you hear my sarcasm?
All right, do you want to say this one?
It is Melina.
Yes, Melina, the only character anybody cares about.
Apparently.
Yeah.
This is honestly really interesting for me. If it's not, because we do have to look at the possible aspect that maybe NRS are screwing with us. Melina and Rain have both been teased so much over the past, Rain longer, of course, but Melina has been deconfirmed multiple times. And then on top of that, like, Melina fans are getting the worst stick, I think, in all of the, like, even Rain fans didn't get hit this badly by the other fans, you know?
Melina fans are getting, like, the middle finger throughout this entire...
Yeah, like, it's really bad. And to be fair, I'm not going to say I'm not a Melina fan, but I'm not a huge Melina fan. I like her character. I actually like her more than Katana. But I believe that the Melina fans have really gotten way too much hate in comparison to the people giving them hate. I actually feel that the people giving them hate have been way worse. Way more aggressive. And so I think that it's pretty interesting to see that both Melina and Rain, two sets of fans who've been getting so much hate, might possibly be getting their characters.
Just so everybody knows, the Melina code that they found has actually said CHAR_MIL. So, character Melina. So again, this is all speculation, but for these MIL code data, there have been things like gear sets and things like that also associated to this character. So it's pretty safe to say. I mean, like Yanni said, unless they've figured out they can rename character files, which I'm surprised they haven't done yet, because we've said before, this whole game has been leaked months in advance of the actual game getting released, like every step of the way. And then lastly, the third character, the guest character that has to be included in every pack.
Yeah, I'm just walking out while you say this, okay?
Yeah, the code file that has been discovered has said RAM or RAMB. Why am I the one that's talking about this?
Because I don't want to.
I'm the one that has laughed on every episode of the Realmcast where we've talked about this possibility.
That makes it even better, so now you have to admit it.
So it looks like we are getting Rambo, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a joke.
Oh my god.
I wish it was, but it looks like we're getting Rambo. I am kind of hoping that this is all just some elaborate setup to get the data miners, like, hey, we're on to you.
I mean, that would be such a low blow, considering they've pretty much relied on the data miners to actually advertise their game for them.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have. I don't know. It looks like we're getting Rain, Melina, and Rambo in the upcoming Kombat Pack.
Well, okay, so you obviously don't like Rambo, and I clearly do not like Rambo either.
Oh, no. I like Rambo.
Okay, for Mortal Kombat, I mean.
Yeah, he's not a Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
RoboCop is more of a Mortal Kombat character than Rambo.
And that's saying something.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But I'll take it. If it means we get Rain, I don't care. They could fill it with the Powerpuff Girls, like, just give me Rain. I'm happy.
This leads us into our next discussion.
Yes, guys, heavy spoilers here, possibly.
Looking back through all the, leaks that have come out and people who said that they're leaking the games and stuff, kind of the one that's been most relatable to this latest news was a post 4 months ago by DVD Game Center. This person says, spoilers ahead, don't read if you don't want to know. I just played through the entire story mode yesterday, 7 days before it comes out. I've seen a lot of photos until now, but never played it. He continues explaining the whole entire plot point of Aftermath.
Yeah, he goes through specific things like Fujin saying calling Raiden brother, Sindel being evil, Jackie fighting Cetrion, for example. Like, he goes into specific details. He doesn't say everything, but he mentions some things which definitely do click.
And then he even talks about the choose your own ending at the end of Aftermath. Again, this was 4 months ago that he posted it, or is it 4 months ago that he updated it?
It was 4 months ago that it says posted. However, one thing I would like to say just in case is, for all we know, he's edited it since it was posted, Because I do feel like I remember reading this, but I don't feel like it was as chunky. It didn't have this much information, possibly. So that is something to bear in mind. Obviously, he does have a specific section which he says edit, but I feel like a lot of what was written prior to that was edited as well.
Okay, so now on to the juicy part. After he goes through his Aftermath description, he says, I do have a description of Aftermath 2.0. It will have Havoc and Dagon having stolen the real crown of Kronika. Havoc gives it to Dagon because he can use it and reshape all of existence, ensuring chaos. Elder Gods will save some characters from existence and use them to fight the Red Dragon. Quan Chi, Takeda, Shinnok, Taven, Reiko, Melina. Aftermath 2.0 comes in November. Ash negotiations still possible.
As of this time.
Yep, as of the time that he wrote this. Rambo is a definite, though. I can't show you pictures of some vast. I should explain this better, but then I'd reveal who I am, and I want to be hidden. If I take pictures, it's not like taking them from my hard drive.
About the pictures bit, on Reddit, you need to show the mods your pictures as proof. If you don't show the pictures, they won't release them. They won't verify the post, basically.
Yeah, so you'll have an unverified leak tag on your post.
Which is what's happening in this case.
So he continues on, NRS changes some things sometimes, but I think no one told people 1 year ago that Ermac, Reptile, Smoke, and Rain will be used in one character. I told you last week that Aftermath's story ends with a Choose Your Destiny type of ending between Shang Tsung and Liu Kang. I told you 1 year ago that Shang, Shinnok, and Melina were planned for the game, but were not finished. When you will see Rambo announced, you will know.
This Shang, Shinnok, Melina leak, I specifically remember it. It went from Shang, Shinnok, and Melina. I think it was even on GameSpot. Well, GameFAQs. Sorry, it was on GameFAQs. And I mean, it's been a long time since I read a leak on there, to be honest. But I think it went from Shang, Shinnok, and Melina being planned for the game and into Shinnok, Melina, and Rain each having separate areas of the crypt that they would be unlocked in, with Shang being the guide, if I remember this leak correctly.
And we talked about this in the last Tarkatan Bitesize episode about Rain. The leaks always kind of mutate into whatever the person who is advocating for it, what they want in the game.
All right, so from the edit, the user said, from the last time I wrote and due to the pandemic, the timeline has been set back, but the characters and story remain mostly the same. As an update, I got news that during the pandemic, NRS has done work on Rain because of fan demand, and he will be one of the DLC characters as well. I believe Serena will be the one to be cut from the final lineup. I'm crying right now, but I haven't gotten info on the last KP changes yet. I know Melina has been moved up, so the next 3 characters to be released are now Rambo, Melina, and Rain, with Havoc and Dagon pushed back to the 3rd pack and the story mode.
If this all lines up with the actual post, we're going to be getting a new story section too to the game.
On our episode, the Aftermath discussion with Uppercut Editions, The 4th Snake, and History Behind the Warrior, we all discussed the ending and how it was like choose your destiny, right? And one of us mentioned it, that what if the ending that they've given us, or both endings that they've given us, are actually not how it's going to end, and that they would do something similar to how the initial story mode ended and not end it where we thought it was going to end, right? So many people, for example, thought that Liu Kang and Kitana's ending was the canon ending. However, in the end, they actually took it from where Raiden ends up helping out Liu Kang, and doesn't even, like, it doesn't stop at that point, it continues. So in this case, it sounds like we might be having something where Shang and Fire God Liu Kang fight, but during that fight, Havoc and Dagon get involved, and so both endings actually cannot take place.
I guess that's a possibility. Previously in Mortal Kombat games, some character's ending has kind of been canon going forward. So in this case, I always took Liu Kang's ending in Mortal Kombat 11 as what would happen for the next game. But anything's possible now. If there is a Game of the Year Kombat Pack release, like a new expansion to the story, then yeah, like it's endless possibilities at this point.
Yeah, it just it makes the theorizing about what's going to take place in the future kind of pointless, I suppose, for lack of a better word, because now we've all been speculating as to what happens, which ending is the correct one, right? So is it that Liu Kang goes back and talks to the great Kung Lao, or is it that Shang Tsung wins, right? And I mean, obviously, as I just said, we did discuss the possibility of them not choosing either ending, but if they're going to do that, then it's literally just them giving us a little bit of fun cinematic as an ending, if you know what I mean.
Well, okay, so consider this too. If there is a new story mode expansion and we have new endings, that means that we have multiple endings to the game, like more than before. Because already we have kind of 3 endings, 2.5 maybe, but if there's another expansion pack to the story, that's maybe 2 more endings to it, and it's like at this point we're as reliable on story mode as we are with character endings.
That's what I'm saying. It just makes it so difficult to actually theorize about what's going to take place next. And while that's cool, one thing that Mortal Kombat has always done was left us with a sort of canon ending which we could speculate on. So for example, in Armageddon had it that everybody was fighting to get to Blaze, right? Where does MK9 pick up? Right at the end of Armageddon, where Shao Kahn has pretty much beaten everybody except Raiden and is about to beat Raiden. So if we're going to get all these endings, which aren't even character endings, but story endings, how are we supposed to theorize?
My main theory, since the end of Aftermath has been, or even since the end of 11, is that everything's going to restart in the next edition of Mortal Kombat. And I think that's going to happen again. I think what they're doing with Mortal Kombat 11 is they're basically closing the book on everything that we've known for the last 20 years or so. 30 years, I guess. All of our characters and stories that we've kind of grown to love, and this is the end.
That's 20 years, by the way. 92, now we're in 2020.
Yeah, so that's 28 years.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm old.
Yeah, you are.
Well, math went out the window there. Oh my God. I don't know. I really hope you're wrong as to if they're going to reboot everything, because, well, this possible leaked ending about Havoc and Dagon having stolen the real crown with the Red Dragon coming in is an awesome possibility for the story to take, that sort of route. And that's kind of what I've been pushing for. I've been hoping this entire time that something is going to happen with the Red Dragon. I've talked about it multiple times at this point, how Kenshi and Takeda are probably on a mission to infiltrate the Red Dragon, which we then got confirmation on in the pre-fight interactions. And now it looks like that is sort of what's taken place. But that means, well, firstly, where's Kenshi? And secondly, we're getting the Red Dragon. This is awesome. But then what happens with MK12?
Do you know what I would love to see happen with the next story mode?
Tell me.
So I would love to see them use all these new skins that we're getting, like the reptile skins, the black dragon skins, the chitin skins. I want to see them use all of these on characters in story mode, like characters from alternate timelines kind of merging together and continuing the story in a new way. I think that would be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty cool. We have sort of seen that in the sort of flashbacks between Liu Kang and Raiden when we're going through all their different fights, which shows the Pyramid of Argus, etc., which actually fits in very well with the story DLC that DVD Game Center has told us about with Havoc and Dagon, right? So Pyramid of Argus would make a lot of sense. Taven is part of that league. So that would make a lot of sense. I mean, the choice of characters as well. I'm not happy about Quan Chi, to be honest. Shinnok even. I like Shinnok a lot, but I don't want to see him return.
I want Takeda to be playable. I think out of MKX, he was my favorite to play. Yeah. So I'm so surprised that he hasn't been in the games at all.
Well, Jackie was the fan favorite, not Takeda. I couldn't even say that seriously. And Boone, why did you say that? But yeah, so it looks like the real big update here is that we've got Rain and Melina. And what really cuts deep is Serena being cut for Rain. Like, that's so weird to me because I've wanted Rain and Serena for so long. I don't know how to feel about this.
You can't win them all, Johnny.
But, I mean, this is looking great. Although, there's no mention of Smoke. And we have a lot of theories about Smoke.
Yeah. And, you know, like we've said in the previous episode, it could be a crypt expansion with Smoke as the guide, as has kind of been stated in some 4chan leaks. Or, you know, there's also the possibility that maybe Rain has an augmentation that makes him fight similarly to Smoke. And they could even do a complete skin change that would make him fight.
I don't see how they would be able to make Rain play like Smoke unless they were going to change a lot of animations. And even the design itself wouldn't make sense.
As we decided on previous episodes, Smoke is basically just like...
No, as you said, very stupidly, I might add. Oh man, you will never admit it. No, but seriously, like if they're gonna use Rain and try to use Smoke as one of his characters, then they would literally have to give his entire skin a complete overhaul, especially in terms of animations for moves and the like. I believe that if Smoke is going to make it in, he will be either his own character or part of Chameleon, which is, you know, part of an ongoing theory right now as well with the whole palette swap ninja thing. If it's not, Ed Boon has said it's different characters, right? So what if he just meant all those different characters within Chameleon?
As of right now, the only thing we could say with the most certainty is that we're more than likely getting Rain, we're more than likely getting Melina, and we're more than likely getting Rambo.
Who? So I think it's a definite yes to the fact that Rambo is your favorite out of these three.
It's so dumb. It makes no sense. And I've made so much fun of this, not even on our Tarkatan Bitesize episodes, but on our actual Realm cast. I've made so much fun of the theory that Rambo's going to end up in game. And now we have RAMB data leaks. And I'm trying to rack my brain for somebody else that it can be.
I don't know, like the Rambo part of this leak or this data mine is what makes me think that it's NRS screwing with us.
Yeah, that's the only thing too for me. I'm like, well, that leaves a possibility of maybe this is all fake, and you know, maybe they actually released the actual character names with different titles, and that's how the data leakers are pulling in all this fake stuff, because NRS has to know by now that we're going to get everything out of this game before it releases if you're just going to send it all to us. So,
can you just imagine conversations at NRS like, guys, you won't believe this, the data miners found what we put in the game in the last patch. What? How? This is the 12th time.
One-upping us.
You know that meme of the guy getting thrown out the window when they're making suggestions?
Yeah.
So it's like, first suggestion, guys, people are figuring out through data mines what we're putting in the game. How do we tackle this? First person's like, why don't we continue putting the files in? Or the next one is like, why don't we hint at them and still put the files in? And then the third one's like, why don't we just not put the files in? And they're getting thrown out the window.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like is happening.
It just doesn't make any sense to me why you would keep doing the same thing and keep getting scooped on your own game.
I genuinely believe it's down to them not marketing the game properly. They have decided that they don't need to market the game. It saves them costs. So they're letting the data miners do it for them.
Eventually, we're going to get our trailer releases and stuff like that. And I mean, it just confirms what the data miners have already said. And there's still so much of the fan base that is shocked and surprised when you get Sindel, Nightwolf, and Fujin show up, even though everybody else has known about this for months now.
Yeah.
So that's my rant.
We talked about this so much lately. We just want communication. And I don't know, I don't think the data mining is allowing the data mining is the best way to go about the actual communication. I like the data mining. I do, because it actually does provide some form of information for us, which we are definitely lacking on. But I would still prefer the NRS actually announce things and talk to us.
I would rather have Boon's clues than data miners releasing this stuff.
Man, even Sherlock Holmes couldn't figure this stuff out, okay? Like, he barely gives us anything to go on. We discuss it, and then he disappears for a week. And then, like, oh, hey, by the way, guys, here's another clue. And then it's like one word. And I love the theorizing, but at the same time, I just wish that we would get some follow-up with it.
He like posts a picture of a bagel, and then you find out that it relates to a deli in Chicago that once was visited by a saxophone player whose name happened to be William, and now you're getting William Stryker in the next upcoming game.
That was amazing. That was beautiful.
I should be writing Boon's clues for him.
Ed, if you're hiring. So yeah, I mean, this leak sounds pretty interesting. I'm curious to see whether or not it turns out to be this leak or the one that I recently placed my stock in, which was the one about the living forest with smoke. I would love, obviously Rain, Smoke, and Serenos. But this leak sounds beautiful to me too. Like, just seeing the files come up, it really says a lot. So I guess let us know what you will think. Do you think that NRS are just messing around with us and putting fake files in? Do you think that this is actually what we're going to get? Do you think we're getting anything soon? Because I don't know. Ed did say September was a good time for news, and as far as I can tell, September's pretty much over. So, yeah. Thanks for checking out this Tarkatan Bitesize episode, and we'll be bringing you another episode of the Realmcast soon. So please like, follow, subscribe to stay up to date with our videos. Thank you.